the rudder! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for this day.
I felt sorry for him. I kind of thought we were friends because we had been in the same social circles a few times, and he seemed very nice, and I did trust him.
This is the plaintiff, Carolyn Lindgren. She says she hired a painter to paint her house. And not only did he walk off the job after getting paid, he did a lousy, sloppy job. Now her house is a paint-splattered mess. The defendant has her money, and she's not about to let anyone get over on her like that. So she's suing for the $1,600 she's owed. This is the defendant, Todd McGillivray. He says the plaintiff's as cheap as they come, but he did agree to paint an accent wall in each of the rooms in her 6,000-square-foot palace. The plaintiff, however, kept adding more and more work, expecting him to paint every wall in the home for no additional money. Bottom line, he spent 100 hours at the lady's house and deserves every penny of the money she gave him. He's accused of getting painted into a corner. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,600 for defamation of character.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn in.
Thank you, Douglas. Caroline Lindgren?
Yes.
You are suing Todd McGillivray for $1,600 that you paid him, that you want returned because according to you, you have to do the whole job over. You are counterclaiming against her $1,600 for defamation of character. Let's hear from you first.
Okay, I was bidding out an interior paint job on my home. I had met Todd at a gathering at a former friend's house, and he said that he was a painter and he was interested in bidding on the job. So he came over to my house and he concluded that he would do it for $2,400.
Okay.
I then gave him we signed a contract, and I have that here, for me to pay him 3 $800 installments. I paid him the first $800 installment, and as he came and did the job, it varied in hours and days that he would do it. It was whenever he had time, but he knew that he was supposed to finish by January 1 of 13.
Let me see the contract.
The contract was on October 13th of 2012. And I was supposed to give him the second $800 when the job was half done. However, he finished approximately a third of the job, and due to personal hardship, he asked if I would front him the second $800 because he had fallen through a window on a job. He had hurt his hand and his back, and he had to pay for the window, and he had some guys that were looking for him coming around his house for some money, and he had to pay his girlfriend, whom he lived with, money, and she had no idea that I had given him any money thus far, so he asked for the second installment.
That didn't sound a little fishy to you?
I felt sorry for him. I kind of thought we were friends because we had been in the same social circles a few times, and he seemed very nice, and I did trust him.
Okay, so you paid him the other $800.
I paid him the other $800. He came back and finished one wall only with one coat of paint. It's all see-through, and I have pictures of what it looks like, and I never saw him again. He had then said he was going on The Voice, and he was going to win The Voice, and he needed time to practice, and he was going to have
Isn't that special?
time
No, did you
away.
say you were going on The Voice?
I did go out to audition Austin. Yes.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yes, I did.
Did you make it or not?
I did not. That's, or it would be in Austin, Your Honor. But.
Okay. All right, so go on.
So after The Voice, I called him again, said, how did it go? And yet he still never came back to finish the paint job.
Okay, do you have pictures of the paint job?
Yes,
you
I
want
do.
all your money back, you want all your money back because according to you, it's not just that he didn't finish, but you don't like what he
It
did.
was poor workmanship, and
Okay.
you'll see the pictures reflect that as such. This was the wall that he came back to finish, and you can see the see-through. This is that same wall, and he got paint in the woodwork, and it's not been able, I could not get it out. That's where he patched a wall. He just left it like that. It's been like that for the holidays, for Easter, continue. Another patch that he did, he left like that. This is how my house looks now. He left it that way.
That's the same patch,
Yes,
right?
it's actually half the size of what he claims my house is. There's another patch. Oh, that's my daughter's bathroom. He did not put the lights back, the can lights. I don't know where they are. He didn't put them back. He got paint splashed on the trim, on the floor, on the toilet.
Wait a minute, my dear. Now I'm watching Disney.
That's in the kitchen.
Well, no, that's Mickey Mouse. Oh, what, Minnie Mouse, I mean, hold on.
It's Minnie Mouse in the kitchen.
Right. Hold on a second, okay?
And that is the dining room that he painted, but he never moved the case in order to finish that wall. That's behind the dining room where...
Wait, that's behind the what? That last
That's
picture?
behind the dining room case where he just
The
stopped
hutch that
painting.
he didn't move? He just
No,
didn't move it
he
and didn't paint
move
behind it?
No, he didn't.
Oh my gosh.
That's the other side. I have the pictures on my phone also.
I have them here too. Hold on.
Oh,
Let's do
okay.
this differently. Hold on. I want you to come over here.
With the
You can leave the
computer?
computer right there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, now I have a series of pictures that you've given. I'd just kind of like you to go through them. Just wait 1 second. Okay, which bathroom is this?
That's the hall bathroom.
Okay, what are you showing me in that picture?
He just left it like that. The towel holder, he got paint on the woodwork, on the trim,
Did
on
he
the
use
floor.
on the floor? Did he use tape or no? He didn't use any tape. Just
No, I never.
freestyle?
Not that I saw ever.
This is your daughter's bathroom with
Right,
green
where
paint.
the paint, right.
The
he
light
didn't put the
fixtures are
can-
missing.
Correct.
Do you know where the light fixtures are?
Your Honor, man, the can is
Okay.
still in the ceiling, and
Yeah, where's the part that goes in and covers
I
it?
have no idea.
Okay.
I certainly wouldn't have taken it with me.
That's behind the hutch.
Behind the hutch,
That's
right.
just not painted at all. Didn't
Right,
move the hutch.
right. He did not finish painting around the smoke detector. He did not finish painting around the fan. He just left it that way. He didn't put the plate covers back on. And the laundry room, this is my laundry room sink. There's 3 pitchers of paint running on the sink. I've scrubbed it, soaked it with bleach, paint on the woodwork, more paint on the woodwork in the laundry room.
Okay. So while the work is going on, go ahead and go back. While the work is going on, do you say anything to him about being careless?
Yes, I would point out, can you touch that up? You got paint on the woodwork there. Is this going to come off? And he always assured me he was not finished with the job. By the time he finished the job, I would be very happy.
Okay, and so when do you finally realize he's never going to come back? Does he talk to you and tell you, hey, I underbid this? What does he say to you?
He tells me that I can afford it, and he never planned on doing the job for that price. And I said, but we have a contract. You promised me. And I kept telling him, and he kept saying, I don't want to hear that again. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not doing it anymore.
But why wasn't he doing it anymore?
He got the $1,600, and that's what he was happy with. And
okay, let me hear from you.
It was.
Hi, thank you very much. First of all, I can assure you that all of that paint that you see spilt all over there, all the different colors I painted, I left those color paints at her house. But I'm just saying straight up, there's no way from those pictures I saw that I've been painting a long time. I do not leave paint drips coming down
Well, they're all
sinks.
over.
Well, I'm saying someone put it there for the pictures. There's no way I would finish a room, go to another room, then to another room, and her not say, hey, what about that paint running down my trim? What about this? What about now all of a sudden all these pictures appear?
What was your contract with this lady? What was it for? You're supposed to do what?
It was to paint all the accent walls, okay?
To paint accent walls?
Correct. And then
according to your statement, it's one accent wall per room?
Is basically where we started.
Okay, can you tell me why your contract doesn't say that? Because your contract, and I quote, says as follows: paint interior specified entire house. And you wrote the words entire house. So
well, the house could, the entire house and the trim and everything that needed to be done could never be done for less than $8,000 to $10,000. I said to her, get 2 bids from different painting contractors. I'll still go in for under $1,000. She said, absolutely not. You're going to finish my house for $2,400. I said, I cannot afford.
Wait, I'm sorry. She has a contract with you where you quote her $2,400. And you both signed it. It's a contract.
When I write specified walls, Your Honor, ma'am, it's the accent walls to a room, not to paint.
Well, it says paint interior entire house.
Right.
Okay, so where would that be one accent wall per room? How would that be that?
It doesn't say specified rooms. It says specified walls.
Okay, but how is it you get to specify when you've decided that you've underbid it?
Because, Your Honor, the night I walked through there with her before I wrote the proposal, she handed me a card that had $2,400 written on it, no proposal, no contract, and said I wasn't going to.
So then when you look at it and you decide, I underbid this, how do you get to do that? And then just walk away and leave her with this mess? Because the pictures I'm looking at cannot be your best work.
Absolutely not, and I believe that some of that paint was put on there and those pictures were taken and then
You know how people are always doing that, ruining their own house?
Right.
You know, it's perfect, but I want to ruin it. Let me spatter paint all over my butt. You know how people are always doing that?
No.
As opposed to the painter is dripping when he paints? Which is way more likely? I mean, come on.
I don't think so.
No, you think that she splattered stuff on perfectly good trim that didn't need painting just to be able to nail you?
Yes, absolutely. I absolutely believe that.
Why? What did you do to her that would make her want to do that? Because if you did such a good job and you painted exactly what the deal was, then what on earth would be the reason for her to do that to you?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So can a painter be really sloppy during a job and pull it together at the end and make it good?
Sure.
Even if it's just a mess going through the job?
Oh, yeah. My house looks like a disaster when I'm cleaning it, but the end result is always fabulous.
Yeah, but it was a disaster when you started is the problem. I mean, is it a bad sign when it's a mess?
No, not necessarily, because I paint my toes and I'm not very good. So initially it looks like a disaster, but then you clean it up in the end and it's golden.
That's disgusting. What do you think?
I feel like painting is a sloppy job to begin with, so it's hard to kind of judge in the beginning. And
okay. 3 votes for the painter going inside the courtroom.
She wanted me to paint the entire house for $2,400, and I said to her,
But that's what you said you'd do.
I said I would be homeless and have nothing. It would take me another month. I would make like $2 an hour. She said, I don't care.
Yeah, I saw that in your answer
signed
to
this
the
contract,
complaint.
you're
You say
gonna
she
paint the
has
house.
a
And I said, no, I'm not painting
$6,000.
it.
She has a 6,000 square foot house. The place is huge. She told me she only wanted an accent wall painted. So you just wanted one wall in each room painted?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, come on up. You are what to her?
Her significant other.
Okay, and were you there during any of the discussions that they had?
During their conversations?
No, about the contract.
Jeff was there when we, talked about the $2,400. He was at the party, and then he also knew, because I had told him, he agreed to do it, and then he saw the contract later.
I don't understand. The contract specifically says any unforeseen extras or changes will be at an additional charge. So where are the change orders, the additional contracts where you
add? There are no additional
contracts. That's because she wasn't adding anything. I mean, that tells me she wasn't adding anything. You know what happened? At the time, $2,400 sounded good, and then now $2,400 doesn't sound good.
Exactly. It would have been about $2 an hour.
Okay, well, tough for you.
Okay, then it's tough for me.
Then don't bid it that way.
Then
But
it's
see, you
tough for
can't
me.
bid it that way, then do a bad job, then walk off.
I don't believe it. The paint on there was mine. I'll stick with that till I die.
Okay, stick with that till you die. In the meantime, I'm just going to rule. Verdict for the plaintiff, $1,600. Tell me about your defamation of character claim.
I have nothing else to say. I'm done.
But don't you want to tell me about your defamation of character? Okay, bye-bye. Do you know? Well, let's see what he said. Let's see his defamation of character claim. Counterclaim, $1,600. I was losing money every second. She became upset with me and told me we thought we were friends, but friends don't let friends work for a quarter of the standard wage. I wasn't going to run myself into homelessness for this woman when she has a couple of $1 million. He's kind of angry.
Where did he get that?
I don't know, but he's angry. Okay, here we go. Countersue for $1,600 for defamation of character. She told everyone it was a bad painter. Okay.
I never used his name, Your Honor.
I don't care if you use his name. If he's a bad painter, he's a bad painter. Truth is a defense. It's not like, so you're telling me don't use him, he's a bad painter. Then I told her boyfriend Jeff, then she told her boyfriend Jeff that I was stalking her. Was he stalking you?
Yes.
Well, how?
Well, he pulled his car into the driveway, flashed the lights, was sounding the horn, and it was threatening to my children and I. It
How do you know it was
scared
him?
me. It looked exactly like his car. It was a little after 10 o'clock at night. It was very dark. I don't know 100%. No one else has ever done that in the 10 years that I've lived there. And it happened after I threatened to call his girlfriend Debbie and tell her that he indeed got $1,600 from me because he had told her he hadn't gotten a dime, he hadn't received a dime from me.
Okay, based on the pictures that you've shown me, I'm going to order him to return the $1,600. And based on the fact that there's no one prosecuting the counterclaim because he stormed off angry that I pointed out the obvious, I am going to dismiss the counterclaim against you. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, the defendant was quite angry as he stormed right through here and out the exit. Then what's your feeling coming out? You're not quite as mad, it seems like.
No, I feel like justice prevailed. I feel it's very unfortunate because I thought we were friends, and it was very hurtful that our friendship meant obviously little to him.
And the house is now in the condition that you exhibited here in the courtroom?
That's correct.
What do you do about that?
I'll have to hire somebody else to fix it. It's a mess.
All right, bring the pictures back. All right, Harvey?
You know, if somebody's working for you and they're not doing a good job as you watch the job go along, you should tell them then and there. Don't wait for the job to be done. Tell them along the way. It will serve you well. And that will do it for this case. The litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
If you thought goldenly breaded McDonald's chicken couldn't get more golden, think Golder, because new sweet and smoky special edition Gold Sauce is here. Made for your chicken favorites. At participating McDonald's for a limited time.
These are the plaintiffs, Donna Speakerman and Garrett Van Alstyne. They say the defendant, their former landlord from you-know-where, turned the water off on them, turned the heat off on them, and then evicted them just like that, without warning. Try as they might, they've been unable to reach the defendant because he left the country, and left the country with their security deposit, and they want it back. So they're suing for $5,000, double their original security, and pain and suffering. This is the defendant, Gustavo Codina. He says he was out of the country working as a submarine telecommunications cable engineer. That's when the plaintiffs decided they were going to be moving out of the apartment he rented them. All this business about cutting their heat and hot water off and evicting them? Utter nonsense. He owes nothing. He's accused of having a short fuse.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says the landlord turned the water and heat off on them and now won't return their security. But the defendant says he didn't do it. It's the case of H20. Oh, no.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Donna Speakerman and Garrett Van Alstyne?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing Gustavo Codina for $5,000, double your security deposit of $1,550 that you say you're due, plus pain and suffering of $1,900. I guess to bring you up to the $5,000. Tell me what's going on.
I'll start from the beginning, Your Honor. June 1st, 2012, we signed a lease with Mr. Codina. It was a 6-month lease. Everything was fine. The apartment was great. We loved it. November, I notified him about a few issues that I was having.
What were they?
Really small. One was the heater. I notified him about that. In that November conversation with Mr. Codina, he notified that notified me that he was going to write up a new lease, a new 6-month lease. We were fine with that. We liked the apartment. We liked the area. It was close for everybody, so it was great. We never received that lease. He never wrote up a lease. So at that point, we were just going month to month. At that point, I have, text messages from Mr. Codina on the date of February 22nd. At that point, he messaged me that he was going to be lowering our rent from
Lowering it?
Yes, ma'am, from $1,550 to $1,300, but then we would pay for our own utilities. I have the text message here. We were okay with that. March 2nd came around, and I was in the middle of getting ready for a little dinner thing that we were having. All of a sudden, my water gets turned off. I was in the shower, and nothing was running. My faucet in the bathroom, kitchen, nothing was on. So I went outside and noticed that the apartment to the attic upstairs was open. So I went upstairs, wandered upstairs, and I saw somebody working on one of the water lines. Obviously, the individual had turned the water off. I asked him to turn it back on. I had people coming over.
Are you nasty?
Yes, ma'am. Yep. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was at that point I was a little irate. I was in a towel waiting I had friends coming over in a half hour.
I dropped the towel just to get him to move faster.
Would have sped up the process.
Well, if I dropped the towel, I might not move faster, but go ahead.
He would have gone a little quicker, yes. And that was on the 4th. I then text messaged him. He needs to notify me whenever he is turning off.
You hadn't received any notice?
Nothing at all.
What was the story with that?
Well, the story with that was that my handyman who's here knocked on the door, that's why he's here, and no one answered the door.
Yeah, but typically speaking, what you do is you'd give them a notice that 48 hours from now we're going to do a repair, so you're not going to have water from X to X. Sorry for the inconvenience. You didn't do that?
I understand that. I did not know.
What was the repair he was doing?
He was blow torching and closing off a water main upstairs, a water valve.
So that's not an emergency. That's something that could be scheduled that you could notify. Okay. I mean, the guy's all soaped up, so he's a little annoyed. So he was a little less than polite. And then what happened?
Yes, ma'am. Got done, sent a text message.
You sent who a text message?
Mr. Codina.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Do you have that?
Sure. I do have it.
Can I see it?
As well?
I'd have to turn on my...
Turn on your phone. Let me see your transcript of the text message.
I believe I was extremely polite.
I can't have the guy turning off the water without notice. I have friends here. Okay, that's fine.
Yes,
Did
ma'am.
you two have a fight on the phone?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about that. You tell me about that.
Basically, I received a call from my handyman, basically stating that Mr. Van Alsten had gotten in his face, had cursed him. He felt physically threatened, and at that point, I told him, just leave.
All right, so you curse him out. What did you say to him?
So, does a husband have a duty to keep things calm while the wife is very pregnant?
I mean, the husband has to be calm at all times. It doesn't matter if anybody's pregnant or not.
Does it matter? I mean, does it matter when they're pregnant?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say, but let me say this.
No. Let's stick to the point.
Okay, he should be calm. I have to agree with.
If he argues with the landlord's about to throw them out. Is he inconsiderate to his wife?
Yeah, you don't want to be pregnant and homeless. It's not.
Yeah, pregnant and homeless is a bad combo. Going inside the courtroom.
I used an improper word.
Which one?
I said, I need you to go turn the water on. And I used
Does he talk like this all the time? How would that, what couldn't you do? The guy is an employee. Why would you talk to him like that?
It was
I'm
the
surprised
second...
you talked to him like
Yes,
that
ma'am.
and to him like this. It was the other way around.
It was...
All right, fine. So now after that, you two get into a fight, and tell me about the fight that you two get into. I want to hear from you.
Well, it wasn't the first time that there were some issues with this type of aggression by Mr. Van Alsten. In the middle of the day, the lights were turned on in the hallway, and I would ask him nicely, could you please turn off the lights of the hallway during the daytime because I was paying for the electrical bill, and he would answer me in these methods like, I don't want to fall down the stairs and break my neck or something like that, and I have text pages like this.
Let me see your text messages that say that. I want to see those. All right, you tell me about the discussion you had with him.
If I may, on that note of the light situation, and it was an issue that I understood where Ms. Codina was coming from. My wife, at that point, she was pregnant during the whole time of the disputes. It was only one control for the light, and it was all the way upstairs. Turn the light on, walk downstairs, and leave. I can't go back upstairs, turn the light off, then walk downstairs. It didn't make any sense to me, and I wasn't going to go up and down the stairs all day and The same thing for my wife. She was pregnant, and I didn't want anything to happen to her, so I would leave the lights on.
All right, so now, at this point, when things are going bad in March, you are how pregnant?
6.5 months pregnant.
Yeah. Well, let me tell. What is the last thing a 6.5-month pregnant woman wants to do?
Walk up the stairs.
Well, that too, and move. Okay.
Move,
So
yeah.
perhaps you should chill
Yes,
a
ma'am.
little, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Because for you to butt heads with your landlord on a month-to-month lease when your wife is pregnant. All right. So now you're having your head butting with him over numerous issues. They turned off the water to do that pipe when?
He did that March 2nd.
March 2nd. On March 4th, you receive a new lease.
Yes, ma'am.
And the new lease now has a jack up in the price.
Yes, ma'am. I was paying $1,550,
And what
everything
was it?
included, and I had storage in the basement.
Okay, and now it was going to be what?
I have the lease here. It was $1,700, nothing included.
plus you have to pay your own utilities.
And I had, pay the only utilities, and I lost my storage
Okay,
in
but
the
he can
basement.
make it $1 million, right? Because it's
Sure.
a month to month.
Yes.
He could just say, I don't like you. I don't
Which
like
is-
how you talk to my handyman. You are a jerk, and I don't want you in my midst. You have 30 days to get out,
Which is
right?
exactly
That's what
what
a
he
month
did.
to
Yes,
month
ma'am.
means.
Yep.
Okay. So you get on March 4th the new lease, and what else does it say?
I pretty much stopped reading it at that point. I wasn't too happy at that point, so I don't recall the rest of the
So you
details of the
text
lease.
him, what do you think you're doing with this lease?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know what planet you're living in, Mr. Van Alstyne, when I see you texting your landlord. That's not what my lease says. You don't have a lease. It was 6 months. It wasn't renewed. You're on a month to month. If it is the same, then leave it alone at $1,550. You don't want to make enemies. What the hell does that mean? Sure sounds like a threat. But what are you doing? You have a pregnant wife who doesn't want to have to move out in the middle of her sick. Are you nuts?
felt
You
like
don't
we were
want to
getting-
make enemies. Oh, yeah, no, that's the way I'm going to keep you in my apartment if I'm your landlord.
You're right, Your Honor, and in front of everybody, I
How
do
about
apologize for that. It was,
you
that was
should.
very immature.
How about for, especially, did you have the baby?
2 weeks ago.
Oh, congratulations. Boy or girl?
Boy.
Okay, you want to be a role model for that boy?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. In any event. And then do you two talk to each other?
Negative. He didn't. I haven't heard. I didn't hear from him from.
Now,
From
according to you,
March
you
2nd?
text him and tell him you can get out on April 4th?
The April 4th date was the time that they had to make a decision whether they were going to sign the new lease
Okay,
or,
and that
or
we
provide
know
me
that
30
because
days.
you had a cover letter with the lease?
Yeah, I had a notice to quit.
Can I see the notice to quit?
Sure.
Okay, because it's dated March 4th, it says you have until April 4th. And then you guys get this, and he says, she desire to continue occupancy, I request an increase in your monthly rental of $1,700 plus utilities. So clearly this was an act intended to punish you for disrespecting him or whatever, or his handyman or whatever else. So then what happens? You do what?
We were looking at maybe trying to discuss this, and I was going to apologize to him. Never returned any phone calls. I was out of line, and there is no excuse for that.
When do you start calling him?
Around March 14th, but it was mostly due to the fact I have all the phone records here for the heat being turned off.
What happened with the heat?
Just didn't work.
It was turned off or it didn't work? It broke or it was turned off? Which is it?
We have no idea.
So you try calling him. How many numbers did you have for him?
One.
And he wouldn't return your calls?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you text him?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So when do you finally hear from him?
The 26th of March, we received a phone call, and he actually called my wife and stated that he was out of the country. And I do have
you
all
were
the
out of the
phone
country
records.
from when to when?
I was out of the country from March 14th to April 2nd in the middle of the Caribbean Ocean.
Okay. Why are you keeping their? What were you doing?
I'm a submarine cable engineer, and we were doing a survey to put a fiber optic cable between Panama and Colombia. So,
Yeah. Like a superhero or something. All right. Okay, so that's why he can't reach you, but he doesn't have any other number for you. All right, and then you find out that he's moving out, and part of the reason that you're keeping a month is because, according to you, he didn't give you good notice.
correct.
But you gave him notice.
But they have the option of either staying for that month and paying the old rent and then telling me, I'm giving you 30 days
Staying
notice.
for what month?
For the month of April.
What you told them is now resides, request that as of April 4th, you quit the unit and give up peaceable possession thereof. And that's what they did. They got out. And then you kept their $1,550 because you didn't tell me you were getting out. No. However, having said that, you don't get pain and suffering on a contracts case, and you don't get double because that's only when he doesn't send a letter explaining why he's keeping it, and he did send a letter explaining why he's keeping it. Okay? Pay the people. $1,550, verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Right, so the plaintiffs have gotten back their security deposit, and that's it, even though they sued for a lot more. What's your reaction?
My reaction was that I was under the impression that the facts and the law were clearly on my side, and I still believe this. Apparently, the judge didn't agree with me.
All right, well, you learned something. We learned that submarine, that cable, that stuff, that's pretty impressive stuff.
It's interesting stuff, yes.
Our internet is a little slow here. Could you do something?
Maybe I could do something. Maybe I could help out.
All right.
Thank you.
Around the corner over there. All right, so come on in here. You satisfied? You didn't get everything you sued for. You went for the jackpot.
We did.
And you came out with your security deposit.
That's actually, we're more than happy with that.
Like the judge said, I'm not from this planet, so I just aim for the stars. That's
All right.
that's the way I look at it.
How's the baby?
He's doing great. He's in the other room right now.
All right, good. All right, head over
Thank you.
there. I know
Thank you
that's
very
where you
much.
want to go. Harvey?
Okay, real simply, you can only get pain and suffering, which is what these people were asking for some kind of personal injury. This is a contract case. You can't get it for that. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Tonight, turn down the noise of the day and focus on the rest with AGZ, the nightly drink for winding down and resting up. New from AG1. AGZ supports your body's natural sleep cycle with clinically studied key herbs, adaptogens, and minerals in amounts supported by research. And no melatonin, helping you wake feeling rested. Wind down, rest up with AGZ. Learn more at drinkagz.com.
This is the plaintiff, Craig Dixon. He says he was riding his bike and the reckless defendant, driving his car, smacked into him, sending him flying. He got pretty banged up, but luckily nothing serious. His bike, however, didn't fare so well. The defendant refuses to buy him a new one, and he's here today seeking justice in the amount of $550 for a new bike and pain and suffering. This is the defendant, Joseph Rubino. He says the plaintiff was riding his bike on the sidewalk, for goodness sakes. Drove the thing right into his door as he was exiting a parking lot. And now the guy wants him to buy him a new bike? Are you serious? The mishap was 100% the plaintiff's fault. He is accused of banging a biker. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $837.28 for car repairs.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff was riding his bike when the defendant crashed into him in his car. The bike is ruined and the defendant won't pay. But the defendant says the plaintiff slammed into him. It's the case of Bike Me.
Douglas, Craig Dixon,
Yes.
you are suing Joseph Rubino for $550 that you say he owes you in damages for crashing against you while you were on your bike. You have a counterclaim against him for $837.28 to repair your car. That happened?
Well, on August 29th, I was riding my bicycle down on the sidewalk.
Are you allowed to be on the sidewalk?
In that town, I did check, and yes, I am.
Lots of towns you're not, right?
Correct.
Okay, go on.
As I was approaching the business that he was leaving,
What's the business?
Exit entrance CVS.
Okay, you're approaching the driveway of the CVS,
Right.
which is the way cars leave the parking lot and go into the street.
Right.
That's entrance and exit. Okay.
Yes. And I, noticed that the car was coming out, and as I was coming down the sidewalk, I was using my handbrake on my bike, but to no avail. I didn't stop in time, and I bumped into his car.
But
And,
how come you didn't stop in time when you saw him?
I didn't have enough stopping room to.
Why weren't you slowing down if you were approaching a driveway?
I was. There's just there's a decline on the
Okay.
road and sidewalk. So as I approached it, still braking as much as I can, and I just tapped into the car, and he must have got startled, and he ran his vehicle over my bike and across the pike.
Okay, hold on. Come on over here. Perfect. And show me what happened with the cars.
This is me.
Why are there two cars there?
I don't know.
But get rid of the other car so I don't
This
get
might
confused.
have been parked
I'm a
like
simple
here or something.
woman.
There's,
Okay.
just,
All right.
So he's across, and I'm seeing it.
How many feet away is your vehicle, your bicycle?
10 yards from
10 yards away.
And as I'm coming down, I see it. I'm handbraking on my bicycle, and I just didn't stop on it.
So why are you
bumped
suing
into
him? You're just describing something that, like, I'm trying to brake, but I'm going too fast.
Well, there is
all
a
those
stop
yards.
sign coming out of CVS onto the pike.
Okay.
According to the police report, he did not stop at the stop sign.
Okay, but you see him, you apply your brakes, and
Right.
you are going too fast. You don't have a chance to stop. You hit his car, so hit his car there, and now what happens?
When it hit, and I fell off,
Okay.
he ran over the bike.
Is that what happened, or you're not sure?
Yeah, it must have went in the car, and
Okay.
and as that happened, he went across the street over the curb on the other side.
Okay. Do you think he saw you coming?
I don't believe so.
Okay, can I have you go ahead and come back? And do we have Google Earth there so I can see what the signage is?
I do have pictures, Your Honor.
Yeah, let me see the pictures. Can we zoom in? Sir, can you tell from this, can you take a look at the screen and tell me which entrance or exit was it?
This is where I'm coming down. I see him out this area here on the sidewalk.
The first time you see him, he's on the sidewalk?
Yes.
I mean, when you say on the sidewalk, he's in the driveway waiting to get on the pike.
Right.
Okay. And where's the stop sign there? Excuse me.
Right here, right in this area.
So where's the stop sign? Do you have a picture of it?
These?
Is that stop sign, when did you take these pictures?
It's date on the picture.
Okay, that stop sign's facing who?
No, but pedestrians, I guess.
Pedestrians.
Right, but it's not supposed to be like that, Your Honor.
Okay, so wait, how does this help your case? And this stop sign appears to have been hit.
Right, here is a picture a week later of the stop sign.
Who's that stop sign facing?
Into the CVS parking lot.
But where, and it's right at the edge of the pike, which is exactly where his car was. What did he do wrong? What happened? Let me hear from you.
Well, pretty much what Mr. Dixon related, except one major omission.
So can you legally ride a bike on the sidewalk?
No,
Why not? Why do you suppose?
because it's for pedestrians, not for bicyclists.
But isn't a bike between a car and a person walking?
Yes,
Well, which is closer, a car or the person?
car.
Because?
It's dangerous and it's
I'm buying what you're saying. I'm buying it. Going inside the courtroom.
He has himself headed in the wrong direction on his bicycle.
Okay.
He was headed northbound on a southbound sidewalk.
Like this?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then your car's here?
Yes,
He
Your
hits the
Honor.
passenger side?
Yes, Your
Does
Honor.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Because that's actually what you said here.
The stop sign itself is at the curb level where I was stopped.
Right. The stop sign's not behind, which of course then you can't see the pike, you can't see the highway traffic. So when did you first realize there was going to be a problem?
When I heard the impact and saw Mr. Dixon sliding off of my car.
Sliding off of the top of your vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then your response was to do what?
I started out across the highway. I was getting
Why?
ready to pull out. I was startled, just as he said.
Right.
And he was clear. I didn't know for sure he was clear, but I was getting ready to make a right-hand
I don't know, it sounds to me like the safest thing to do is just to stay put and not move. Why would you move after that? What if you run over him?
I didn't want to pull over. I didn't want to pull out. It was happening. I was starting to make my right-hand turn.
You were
when he
already doing that, and then it all happens at the same
No,
time.
I had my foot coming from the brake onto the gas. He
Okay.
hit me.
Well, you didn't flee, though, did you?
No. I went across the street, came out, and checked with Mr. Dixon, tried to check with him, but he was a little upset.
All right.
Understandably.
Okay, and then we call the police. The police come. They offer you an ambulance.
All right.
You say you don't need one or you don't want one or whatever.
I was shaken up, Your Honor, but I was okay. I had some few skin scrapes above my knees and one of my forearm.
What is this? This stop sign, is this from your accident?
That's pictures I took, Your Honor.
Yeah, but is it from your accident,
Yes,
do you
it is.
think?
Yes, it is.
Did you hit the stop sign when the bike hit you?
The sign, as indicated on the accident report, was already down.
Oh, it was already down? Can
Yes,
I see
it
the
was.
accident report?
Yes.
Do you recall whether you ran over the bicycle after the...
I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm sure I did is because there's a piece of molding that is missing from the bottom of the car underneath.
Vehicle 1, that's you, was exiting the CVS pharmacy parking lot. Vehicle 1 was coming to a stop at the exit. The stop sign was found to be leaning over in a defective manner prior to the crash. And of course, everyone knows you have to stop when you're approaching oncoming traffic. So you were stopped. His testimony is you were stopped. You were stopped before the point of the stop sign. As he moved forward, Bicycle 1 ran into Vehicle 1. Bicycle 1 related that he was riding on the sidewalk and was struck by Vehicle 1 as it failed to stop at the stop sign. All right, so let's assume the truth of everything you said, which is your stories don't vary in the slightest, really. And so what did he do wrong that would make, I'm sorry for the accident. I'm sorry that this happened. I'm sorry that your bike got damaged. But tell me why he must pay you.
Well, he was blocking the sidewalk.
He's not blocking the sidewalk. What is he supposed to do? Go real fast so he's not blocking it? Because that's illegal. Go over it in like a hovercraft? Because that's impossible. So your testimony is he has stopped blocking the sidewalk, which is the exit to CVS. Right. He is in the exit to CVS. He's not blocking it, he's using it. And there is absolutely no evidence to suggest what you're saying, which is he was supposed to stop inside the parking lot as opposed to at the pike, because the stop sign is inches from the pike. Right. So tell me what he did wrong. You can't.
Right. Well, I do admit he was blocking the sidewalk, and
can you tell me how he can have done it differently? What should he have done that he didn't do, and a responsible driver would have done?
Before the sidewalk.
And do what?
Wait for people to pedestrians to walk by. And
why don't you just watch what you're doing next time?
I am. I do.
Yeah, but watch what you're doing more. Because the injuries that you could have sustained could have really polished you out.
Right, I understand that.
So you need to be maybe a little more careful, particularly when you're driving on the sidewalk. So consider yourself lucky and consider the penalty of not having ridden your bike a little more carefully to be the fact that you have to pay the money to restore your bike. Now we have a very unfortunate thing for you, which is that because you sued him, he now filed a counterclaim against you. And I have to, if I find that it's not his fault that it happened, whose fault is it? Okay, so you have damages to that car, which you've ended up paying for yourself because you didn't want to claim it on insurance, because you have a $1,000 deductible.
$500
deductible, and it was an $800 repair. And so, may I see the pictures of the damage to the car?
Your Honor, may I say something? I believe I didn't, cause that much damage to the vehicle.
Okay, what am I seeing there?
The adjuster, when he came out to look at it, said he believed it was the bicycle's pedal gouging into the side of the car.
It's not an unreasonable estimate. I find in favor of the defendant in this case in the amount of the $837.38. I'm very sorry, my hands are tied. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, the plaintiff loses his case, and the defendant collects against you on his countersuit. What's your feeling coming out here?
Yes, I will be more careful, as the judge said, and, I just have to look out more as far as, I'm riding my bike.
You feel fortunate that you weren't more seriously hurt?
Yes, I am. It could have been a lot worse. It could have been hospital bills, and, I feel that she did make the right decision to a point.
You got a new bike? You still riding around?
Not yet.
Okay. You just head right around the corner this way, okay, and sign your documents on the way out. And that gives us a chance to get your comment on winning on this countersuit.
Well, I honestly expected to. I mean, everybody has a right to bring their case to court, but I didn't see where people have to be responsible for their own actions, and he was just wrong.
Yeah. Could you have been a little more empathetic to him at the scene afterward?
Well, he was pretty upset and yelling at me for not stopping and telling him about the stop sign. It was before the stop sign, so I was a little empathetic. I even offered to ride him home in my car with his bicycle because it wasn't drivable.
What do you think, Harvey?
The fact is, in almost all jurisdictions, and this does vary city by city, bicycles are considered vehicles, and they have to abide by the rules of the road.